It is an invasion that we love to see with a twist. It's Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, on the PlayStation console that we're playing today. And today's invasion brought back all kinds of fun memories of fond times. Not even necessarily, obviously there's like some Dark Souls 2 elements to this invasion because it's in Dark Souls 2. But there's also some elements of some Dark Souls 3 invasions, or what I associate with Dark Souls 3 invasions. We've invaded 2 players. They are co-oping through the Undead Crypt, and I am using a Hexer character that I have been playing through Dark Souls 2. I've been making this build on my latest playthrough. This is Rowboat Cop. I don't know if you'll remember or not, but in the Dark Souls 2 opening cinematic, the character is on a rowboat at a certain point, and I don't know why, but I hyperfixated on that aspect of the opening segment and decided to name this character Rowboat Cop. And we're using the Blue Flame Straight Sword, which can cast sorceries instead of heavy attack. And then we've got the Witch's Staff, the Black Witch's Staff, which can cast everything. It can cast every type of sorcery, incantation, and hex. So in Dark Souls 2, there are sorceries, and there are incantations, and then there are hexes. Some hexes are sorceries. Some hexes are incantations. Some, like, magic catalysts can't cast one or the other, right? Like, for example, Blue Flame can cast sorceries. However, it cannot cast hex sorceries. Obviously, it cannot cast incantations either. There are certain staves that can cast incantations, but they can't cast hex incantations. Alright, the Black Witch Staff can cast all of that. The only thing it can't cast is pyromancies, to my knowledge. I don't think it can cast pyromancies. But, yeah, it allows us to have something that we don't have to be swapping back and forth between all these different staves and chimes in order to cast all of our spells, because we got a bunch of different stuff. Also making a swap here to the Agape Ring because I forgot to put it on at the beginning of the invasion. I don't really mind soul memory, but I'm doing this playthrough on stream. I'm streaming this playthrough, and I didn't want to have a bunch of unaccounted for soul memory when I went back to streaming at the beginning of the week, and people in chat, wondering what the hell I've been up to. So, yeah, that's why we're using... I typically don't even mess with the Agape Ring. But, anywho, we've defeated this Phantom once through clever platforming, if you can call it that. All we really did was just make a little drop down, and he made a little drop down, and he failed at it. But, just immediately resummoned back, which is... That's, to me, Dark Souls 3 behavior. I will always associate that as being Dark Souls 3 behavior. And then he comes back and, almost dies immediately again. But, keep in mind, Dark Souls 2 invaders can't use flasks or items to heal. They can only heal through spells like Great Heal or Warmth, something like that. And so, I'm out of that at this point. And I am not... as savvy when it comes to PvP in Dark Souls 2 as I am, any other game, honestly. This is the one I know the least about. It just never clicked with me the same way that it clicks with other people. Having said that, I still really like Dark Souls 2 Invasions. I still really like Dark Souls 2 PvP. But I just never bothered to learn all the tech or all the whatever that goes on in this game, as opposed to Demon Souls or Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring and Bloodborne even. Third time's the charm. This fella has come back, and now I'm running out of spells. Now, there's a million things. I bring that up, my not being very good at this. I bring it up for a reason. It's totally possible to have killed that host, to have won that invasion right there. When he went for that heal, Soul Greatsword would have absolutely finished the job here. But I was too busy toggling through all of my different things. And if you've never played Dark Souls 2, this area, the Undead Crypt, I have forgotten at this point that I can progress through the level. I'm Elden Ring brained right now. There's a little shortcut as well as a door up ahead, and they have now gone through the door, but before it had a fog wall, and as an invader I can't pass through that fog wall. And so I thought I was trapped up here until they went through that door, which now they have. However, I'm wrong. This is not correct. There's a drop down I could have made over by the door that I could have taken a ladder and then gone to the next part of the level. But I totally forgot about that. Also, my camp the ladder with a powerful hex with the red tearstone ring trick didn't work. And I honestly probably would have been better off, just maybe sticking around up there. But I wanted to ring this bell and summon up these ghosts. This is actually where you get the sword that I'm using, is from fighting these ghosts. But, yeah. However, this invasion went on for a long time. And so if you're playing Elden Ring right now, or if you've only ever done Elden Ring invasions, you're thinking like, oh man, what a bummer. But this is Dark Souls. Dark Souls has like a way, especially Dark Souls 2, has a way shorter invasion timer. And I'm not sure about in Dark Souls 2, but I know this in Dark Souls 3. Every time you summon, you shorten the invasion timer. And that guy resummoned that dude like 3 times. So I can just invade them again. They don't have to have a dried finger active. They don't have to have a taunter's tongue active. They've just, they are already into the invasion cooldown timer. Well into it, because that invasion was so long. And on top of that, the guy resummoned that phantom over and over again. So as a result, we can actually have, this kind of narrative invasion, which I love and miss. Elden Ring just doesn't have this, unfortunately, where you can invade the same group, multiple times, and you can have these sort of stories play out. I miss that a lot. That's one thing about Elden Ring that, just I feel like is missing that was in the Souls games when it comes to invasions, is this aspect of, you can play with your friends, and you can resummon them 1,000 times, but you're not immediately free from the invader for 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it is, just because you won. If what it took for you to win was resummoning the same guy 3 times, and the invasion went on for a while, then you end up with, this, where we run through, we come back, we ring the bells, we get all the ghosts active, and now we can have, an actual fight with this host, depending on what he decides to do, how well he knows this area. He can run, he can pull this lever, he can have a shortcut back to the beginning of the level, but I don't think he knows that, and so he runs forward to make progress instead. He misses the lever. But I've rang that bell ahead as well, and so now there's ghosts up here for him to deal with, as well as the enemies that are typically here. Even if you stop, there's a little undead guy who will ring that bell, and you can stop him. There's 3 of them, but you can stop them from ringing the bell and not have to worry about these ghosts. But if you have an invader, they're just going to ring the bell, and that's what I did. So now he's got the ghosts, and he's got the 2 knights, and he's got the dragon rider. This is not a good way to go. And now we can actually have a little fight. And this time I'm cool, calm, and collected, chilling with my soul greatsword, waiting for the heal punish. also, Darkstorm kind of reminds me of Firestorm, so I was curious if I could use it as like a backstab wake up, but it didn't seem to do the job there. But that's fine. I'm in the driver's seat. All right, we're comfortable. We love to see this. So all I have to do really is just wait for the heal and then punish it with Soul Greatsword. And Soul Greatsword, you only get 3 casts of it, depending on how much attunement you've given your character. But that's how much I have, 3, which is not a lot. But, you know, it does a lot of damage, and it's Dark Souls 2, so when you use your flask, it doesn't instantly heal you. It heals you slowly over, like, 3 seconds. And so, yeah, anything is a flask punish in Dark Souls 2. Like, literally anything will work. Here's my build. This is just me playing through the game and doing invasions as I go. And yeah, absolutely love this invasion. Absolutely love these types of invasions. I miss that. The narrative, long, drawn-out, multi-skirmish invasion. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. And I will see you next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Later, y'all.